to give you a crypto update. Hopefully all is well with you guys. Here we go with the major chart. What we have is this potential trend line that seems to be a pivot point just by this nature. Looking at those two pivot connections, that level, as soon as we break it, it pivoted up very quickly. So that suggests there is a pivot there on the weekly. And now what we can see, if we look at my chart, we have the monthly levels and weekly levels based on the candlesticks. So if you can see that, it's pretty much smack back on the monthly level right now. And we have this Fibonacci as well. The other aspect to it is if we do the Fib count, the Elliott wave count, if we were thinking that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, yep, and it's a big strong move, and I think that is so far correct. Then we have this ABC correction. This is the theory. So we've got A, B, and C. Question is, how high is C going to go? So that's what we're going to work on. And we can see that it's coming to a very important position, and it's just slightly passed on. And that is, you can see that pivot point, by the way, with the RSI, matches up with this. So this trend line right there at the same spot. So the RSI confirms that this trend line right there had something to do with it. Right after that green candle, bang. So the weekly is going up, and you can see this line, for some reason, matches that. Now, what we can look at is look at the monthly, and you can see the moving averages. This moving average is also acting as a potential resistance, which is the 200 SMA. So that's nasty as well. Let's go back. Now, when we look at from this perspective, we're saying that this is an ABC correction. Yep. So it comes to be that if we are still in a downtrend, and from a trend perspective, we have our weekly level, which is down there. So we need to close the weekly above this level. I think not this one here. This one maybe, but this one here is the main one. If we close above the weekly level, then that's going to be a bullish sign. I believe we gravitated to this trend line here. So if you look at that perspective, let's just get rid of this line for a sec. Yep. That trend line, I think we gravitated towards that, and then we might get a pullback. We might get a pullback before then. But let's have a look at this from this perspective. So what we're doing is we're doing an ABC correction. Let's just get rid of that. And if that's the case, let's do our Fibonacci extension from there to there to there. And you can see if we were to get rid of the weekly levels and so on, and get rid of that Fibonacci. This black one here, as you can see, it's hit the one. This other one here is the macro fib. So where was our reference point from top to bottom, from that top to that bottom, which is wave 3 to 4 and down to wave 5. We have our reference point. So the point, this is also going to be a difficult place to. This is going to be a strong resistance. That's all I know. And if you look at the RSI as well, it's very high, very extended. And if we look on the daily, you can see how high the RSI is there, very extended and likely to find resistance there. So we have our ABC type of thing, and that's the fib 1. So we should get a pullback, but the major goal could be up here. Major targets could be still here, because we're having a correction, ABC wave. So fib 1, fib 2. So this is a strong move, right? So that's easily a wave 1 to 2, or a 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 is what we're looking for. So even if we pull back, I still feel like we're going to go there, and that is a bullish sign. But this is a strong move. I do feel like we're going to get a pullback. Where to pull back? Maybe to that level there. We're going to find our support just like that. We've broken through a key level. That's the point. And we might do another wave, and then we might find our resistance in the 618 level here. So that's what I'm thinking. This formation is now invalid because it's broken above. We only have 2 points of reference, which doesn't really qualify. 3 does, and but most of us still use 2 points, but it's not something that's reliable as a resistance either way. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Here we go there. So we should get a pullback from here, 200 moving average on the daily. Yep. SMA. Let's see what the EMA is. Shouldn't be much different. Okay, so the EMA comes right to the 618. So there you go. They even gives more reason why this is going to be the main resistance. For now, it's the SMA. So we get a rejection there, and if we pass it, then we'll probably hit our 200 EMA on the daily. And that, my friends, let's see if that's the 2-week one. That's the 2-weekly chart. Let's see what that shows us. The 2-weekly RSI, it hasn't got any involvement, didn't do anything there. So I'm not sure where that came from. And there we go. So nice move to the upside. Historically, we've seen that play out. So what have we got here? The index. Let's look on the weekly. In many cases, we hit the 0.23382 for rejection. That's what we had there. And on this one, we had the 0.618. All right. So this is a long duration one. So we've got 2 models. One that's really decisive with a reversal. The other one is ranging. And for now, neither one represent what we've had. So this is a very strong move. The week's still not finished, so this weekly one could still come back down. We need to see how this closes off on the weekly candle. And let's see. Let's just do a quick one. Compare that to the rest. I just want to get rid of these Fibonacci's. So when we compare this to the previous ones, so we have here 0.5 Fibonacci, and then it's actually is that 0.5? No, it's 0.618. Sorry, the 0.618. From there to there, we get the 0.618 pivot. For this one, from that spot, it's a 0.382. Let's see if we've got all on the same setting. Yep. And this one. Right. So currently we're on the 0.5 Fibonacci. So the 0.618 is possible. And what happened in the past was it kept going. So it got a pullback. So this one, the 0.382, gets a pullback and then does the Adam and Eve. I dare say that we're going to have either a pullback and then up like that, touch this line, and then continue on. That is potentially what's taking place. We've got our That's what looks like an inverted head and shoulders, and it's likely to go from all the likes of it. So if this keeps going, we're going to get pulled back, and then we're going to do our right shoulder, either at that level. If we break above it, that's the key. We have to break above it, and then we get this neckline, and that is a strong bullish pattern. So if it doesn't, then also we can always go down. Yeah. So if it pulls back, this is where it's going to be really difficult stage to trade. But that is a bullish pattern. But with the likes of March, a few months from now, historically, what was it like March? And that's February. Okay, so December to February, it's a bullish next few months. And the other one, but then the climate was different. Even then, January, and this one took off in October. Okay, that's not going to help us, but that is a bullish scenario there. The other one is the bearish scenario where it just breaks down. We get a rejection, and it could be a strong rejection. Um, and this is the key. That is the key level there. We've got a few lines. That one's broken, but this one has another point of reference as well. So we'll see how that goes. But at the moment, we're overextended on the daily, so I wouldn't be surprised for it to pull back. Let's see on the 1 hour. It's getting there. And we've got our moving averages that are coming. So so if this is our buying climax, secondary test, not there yet, up thrust, this could be our buying climax here. And then we might start seeing some, so let's see, current trend line. This is the key. This is the 1 hour. This is going to start showing something there. It still looks bullish from the RSI perspective on the 1 hour. So let's have a look at that. If it breaks above it, then it's going to continue on a bit. That's the 1 hour. Let's look at the 2 hour. 2 hours definitely more bearish. 4 hour slight. Yeah, so the bullish divergence, bearish divergence starting to kick in. If that gets rejected, that's when the bearish divergence starts kicking in. 8 hour, not there. No. And still it's likely to continue up. So upward momentum is still there. So we just, like I said, we'll get a bit of a pause, get a bit of a sideways. I think we'll just get a sideways, like a box there, and then further up. I can't see this, at this point, I can't see it coming back down. And I think I'll leave, and here was the other charts. This is the monthly. So the monthly RSI is looking bullish. That's the level that we have to break. And the moving average on the month, the monthly. So right here, we need to break that level. That was the previous bottom. So if we break above that, that is a bullish. So it really depends on the monthly candle. Here we've got this formation that's already broken up. This is the weekly trend line, like we showed many times. So this is really A, B, C. How high? And then another correction. But this is looking significantly strong. And I don't know what the other chart is doing at the moment. Let's have a quick look. Pause. Let's look at the other chart. So we're in that box. You can see the point of control has been broke, almost broke. Well, always pulled back. And this is the one I was looking at. If this breaks through, this is tether dominance. If it breaks through, then it's going to be significant. That is our support. I think that's our last support line. And then we're headed down towards this level here. Probably right there. And that's our USDC dominance, and that's pretty much taking a dive as well. One more chart. Let's see what we're looking at from the SP 500. SP 500 is looking bullish as well. So the interest rates aren't going to really slow this down. If this takes place, then we're going to have a bullish month or two, and realistically, it might correlate. But that is our 618 level, right on the money. If it breaks above it, then our bearish sentiments, for whatever reason, many of us think it was going to go down, that this might just go up to that level before. I just can't see this happening, but never know. But that's what we're looking for, a bullish move, and we got to see does it break above this. This is going to confirm that the bottom is in. This is a real indicator, in my opinion. That is bullish. That is bullish on the weekly. It is looking bullish. So might have to flip my mind, but yeah, short term, I think we're in. Now here's the other aspect to it. I've spoken this about a few times. That is our 1. That is our 2, and that is our 3. What we've done is the 1. This looks like it's our 2. We're looking for the 3. So where's that 3 going to be ending up? That is the key question. We can guess by doing this, and you can see this Fibonacci really lining up with the 0.786, which I didn't expect. But if either way, we might go to the 0.5 fib as a point to the neckline, and then do an A, B, C. Now this is where we might come down lower. Yeah, this is where we might come back lower, even down here. So at the moment, we might get this big push, get a correction. This trend line might still come into play and continue on. Who's to say? Let's look at this last bit. And I'm going to use this as Fibonacci to see if this, from this reference point, and see if that. So the 0.5, I suppose you give it take a bit. Let's see. You can always use that one. Yeah. So the second most important level is our 0.5 from that bottom. And that really lines up, doesn't it? So again, 618 is where it's probably headed to, guys, which is, oh geez, 21,000. So this one says 23,000. Okay, so that's where we might be headed to. But we need to pass this monthly level and weekly level, and at the moment we're not there yet. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Please give me a like and share. Talk to you soon.